Well, my back's still out, and the nerve pinch has gone into my left hip, so I'm not better this week. I'm worse. But I'm still holding it together to bring this to you. And then hopefully we're going to be able to do it, another No Plan, No Problem tomorrow. So, yeah, I look forward to that. As for today, what else are we going to talk about but tacos? We got a Talkin Tacos. Yeah, that's a great name. Let's do it. Welcome back to Trent Takes on 2.0. I'm the Trent from the title of the show. 200 episodes or so of this. We're almost to 100 in the second iteration. So if you've been listening this entire second iteration, wow, we're almost to 100. I think we're at like 95 or something like that. I don't know. And I was looking through my old episodes from the first incarnation of the show, and I did like 115, 120-ish. That's kind of cool. You know, it's nice to have a little bit of longevity, even though I quit for a couple years in the middle and did a Clippers podcast. And then I realized I had to do something. You know, this is my hobby, so I got to get back in there. And, you know, there was this crazy thing happening where the unthinkable was on the table, that America was going to reelect, you know, Donald Trump, and we were going to be forced to live in a fucking crazy world. And I was like, nah, that'll never happen. You know, America's not that stupid. America said, hold my beer. And they did it. They did it. They actually reelected this guy. And now we're learning that all of the horrible possible outcomes are either happening or on the table or around the corner. They're all like, it's all feasible now. Every accusation was a projection, you know, the whole, oh, you can't elect Kamala Harris. She's going to send your children off to war. She's going to start World War III. Donald Trump's doing all that stuff. They're talking about reinstating the draft. They've got 50,000 troops in the Middle East. It's going to grow. The war in Iran is not going to end with just bombing. So we don't have any idea what their plan was. They didn't fully think it out. They just thought that they would get capitulation, that Iran would just fold. And that's because the Israelis sold Donald Trump on that, specifically Benjamin Netanyahu. What didn't happen? The Iranians are not backing down. So I wanted to talk taco. Talk the taco. The taco is Trump always chickens out. That's a little phrase that some chucklehead on Wall Street came up with last year when he was constantly removing tariff. He would set a tariff and then he would back it down at the last second and say, well, we're negotiating a little further. And so it was always this kick the can down the road thing, but he would threaten the big game. And then at 0 hour, at the very last minute, he would just like he would chicken out. He would kick it. And Trump tacos, you know, it was a thing. He backs out of shit. Trump always chickens out. There's no such thing as a real deal with Trump. I think that's one of the most fucking hilarious things of all. The art of the deal president doesn't actually believe in deals. He tears them up. As if they don't benefit him, he just tears them up. Even if it's a deal that he agreed to. See the reframed NAFTA, which was, what was it called? The U.S., Mexico, Canada trade agreement. Something like that. There was some weird name that the first Trump administration negotiated, which was essentially NAFTA. They tore up NAFTA because it didn't have Trump's name on it, and then they put in a new deal that had Trump's name on it, And then they come back this time around and they tore up that trade agreement because it wasn't a good deal. See, and that's the thing. It's never a good deal for Donald Trump unless he's personally making money on it. I want to take a second. I'm talking about a president who is so hell-bent on corruption and abuse of power that it's all he does. It's literally the only thing he does. He doesn't do anything for anybody else. It's all about corruption and abuse of power and remodeling a place that he's only supposed to live for another 2.5 years, and then he has to vacate. Do you really do this kind of massive remodeling if you plan on leaving? No. I'm talking about a president who is so fucking dangerous to the future of this planet. I forget about the country, the planet. That he basically consumes all the oxygen in every convo you have. And it changes the way you interact with your family. It changes the way you interact with your friends. It changes the way you interact with fucking strangers. It changes the way you interact with other drivers when you're on the road. It changes everything. Okay? I talk about Donald Trump all the time because he is literally an existential threat to this country, this society, and the future of our species. I have never, in my 50 years walking this planet, felt that way about anyone. And we've had the ability to destroy this planet multiple times over with nuclear weapons for the entirety of my life. But I have never thought that there was someone so abusive, corrupt, cruel, stupid, foolish, moronic, narcissistic, sociopathic, that they would push that button. And that includes Vladimir Putin. I never thought we would have a world leader this fucking dumb, this mean, this cruel, this awful. Yet here we are. Here we are. What should I be talking about? I should be talking about the influence that AI has on children. And I have one in my house. Not AI, child, who's addicted to AI chatbots. The addictive nature of this this product. I almost called it a program. I don't know if you call it a program, you call it a product, whatever you call it. The addictive nature of these products is it's worse than drugs. It's not worse than drugs. It's as bad as drugs. The addictive qualities of it. We're dealing with it. I think she's going to be fine. But everybody should be warned about that. Instead, I got to talk about Trump. I want to talk about Artemis 2 and us, the United States sending astronauts back to the moon in 2028. And this is the first full-blown to the moon test mission where they're going to orbit, they're going to come back, they're proving that all of the systems function except for the toilet apparently. This is an important thing. We haven't gone to the moon since 1972. It's the first time in my lifetime I was obsessed with space when I was a kid. And then I discovered how thin the walls are when you're out there and how one hole in the wall and it's over. Astronauts are a special kind of brave too. I've also developed a little bit of a claustrophobia. Is that the one where I don't like close spaces? And like the inside of the Orion spacecraft where they are right now is like 2 minibuses and there's 4 people in there and they have to stay that close to each other for 10 days. And I freak out a little just thinking about it. I want to talk about shit like that. I want to talk about the danger of ignoring climate change and all of it. I want to talk about the future and I want to talk about a better world. But instead, I'm talking about this fucking asshole every day, all the time. And you have to do it too. It's in your life all the time. If you need government assistance for something, good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. If you need the VA for healthcare, if you count on Medicare or Medicaid for healthcare, good luck. Good luck. This regime is they're not even incompetent. They've willfully destroyed the government's systems because if you lose faith in the government, you're stuck with whatever they offer you as a replacement. That was the plan. It was the plan all along. The only thing that they're funding in the new Trump budget is the military and immigration and customs enforcement. More cuts, more cuts, more cuts to the programs that people need to help them survive, grow, provide opportunities for their children. All of those things are going by the wayside for more bombs and more out of shape, evil fucking police officers who just want to take out their racist rage on people of color. And I'm at wit's end. I just started crying last night. Trump promised to end the Iranian civilization, end the civilization forever. Genocide. If they didn't make a deal. I want to let you in on a little secret. They didn't make a deal. They don't even know who they're talking to. The United States government isn't talking to the Iranians who are in charge of the military over there, who are in charge of the situation over there, who are in charge of the Strait of Hormuz. No. They don't even know who the fuck they're talking to. They don't have any clue. They're talking to the head of parliament. He's worthless like tits on a bowl. See, sometimes the Southerner comes out in me, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. Worthless. Screen door in a submarine. How about that? Tits on a bowl. Ugh, God, I need help. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I'm angry. I'm hurt. My back is killing me. Now my hip is killing me too. It's a 2-for-1. I'm leaning on a cane all the time now just to keep me stable. And what do I have to talk about every time I pop on my podcast? Is this bullshit, this madness. I'm going to end civilization. End the civilization. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? Who talks like that? He's crazy. He knows he's doomed. He knows he's doomed. He knows he's doomed. And they've been committing war crimes left, right, and center. So, I mean, fuck it. Whatever, right? Nobody asked for this war. They didn't even ask for this war. The United States regime in charge didn't come to Congress and go, we need to utilize military force to stop the Iranians from developing a nuclear weapon, which apparently is their thing. Like, that's their big, we lean on this nonsense. It's the same thing that Netanyahu's been promising for the last 30 years, that Iran is 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. There's footage of him telling the United States Congress that 30 years ago. Are you kidding? I always try to keep it real because this is real, right? This is real. This is how we feel. It's how you feel. It's how I feel. It's how you probably feel. If you're with me on this journey, you're probably like, I can't stand this fucking guy. He's crazy. He keeps doing crazy shit. And you know what? You're right. You're right. If you hate listen to me, you are really intensely hating. So, hey, appreciate you for at least having that. I've got lots of listeners. I got listeners in Germany. I got listeners in Australia. I got listeners in the UK. It's just like, I'm totally invested in this project because I feel like every once in a while somebody will reach out to me and I feel like I'm doing a good thing. that I'm speaking truth to power, that I'm acting the way normal people act, that I have a normal reaction to the craziness that's happening. And like the way I put it together, people seem to find comforting. Like you're there with me. And I know this is frustrating, and I know it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. And every Tuesday that goes by in 2026, there's another special election. There's another primary. There's another proof point that even voters are pissed off. Even voters are pissed off to the point where, they're doing everything that they can to change this bad status quo. We have got to rein in the Mad King any way we can. And the best thing we have going for us is our vote. And they're trying to take that away from us too. Everything from the SAVE Act to threatening to put ICE at polling places, all illegal stuff. There's an executive order banning mail-in voting. You fucking kidding? What? Also, I like to point out, just for fun, they control the mail. Did anyone not know that? They control the mail too. And it's already happening. They're postponing postmarking things. So if you're gonna vote by mail, you have to do it early enough that you can either A, drop it off in person at a polling place, or drop box. Because the drop boxes are run by the cities and counties and states, whichever locality is running the election, they run the drop boxes. You'd either drop it off at a polling place or a drop box, or you can send it through the actual mail. But if you are going to send it through the actual mail, you need to take it all the way to the desk and get it postmarked. Can you believe that shit? Because you can't trust them. We will make it through this. I say this almost every week because I believe it, and there are no alternatives. We have no choice but to survive this, to find a way to dig through and come out the other side stronger and more resilient, and with a pretty lengthy list of weaknesses in our system that we need to reinforce, galvanize, alter. The system itself has been broken. The Republicans in Congress refusing to do their fucking job is the number one thing. And I harp on those Republicans in Congress a lot because you took an oath. You promised to serve the Constitution, the country, your constituents. And instead, you're sycophants, turning a blind eye to the obvious corruption and abuses of a mad king. You're all traitors in my book. Do you deserve the death penalty for it? No, I don't. I don't really believe in the death penalty. But you should never hold a position of public trust and authority. Never. You violated your oath. You violate your oath every day that you don't impeach this fool. Remove him from office. Take away some of these powers. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for the Constitution. Stand up for the 250 years of democracy that we've attempted to distill into something really, really positive and really, really good, where the people of this country call the shots and not some mad king. And instead, we get you. My congressmen and my senators are extremely outspoken opponents of essentially everything Donald Trump does. I can't think of one thing that they've been like, yeah, that's a good idea. Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla are my senators, and they are fighters. In fact, Schiff is on Trump's shit list permanently for being an impeachment manager. in the first go round. And my representative is a guy named Pete Aguilar, who is also on Trump's shit list because he was a part of the January 6th commission. I am just a guy. I'm just a guy trying to raise a good family. I'm trying to raise good kids. I'm trying to do the right thing for myself, for my wife, for my children, for the future, for my neighbors, for my community. I can only do so much, little things here and there. I can be helpful. I can be kind. And those are all good things. And those are the things that we should always focus on. The little kindnesses, the little things that you can do every single day that can change the world. Butterfly effect, you know? Everything from having a really nice conversation with a young man at the Ralph's today. See, that made me sound really fucking old. I'm 51 now. But I had a really nice conversation with a young fellow that works at Ralph's about what they do with their bags and are they recycling, and maybe there's some way that you can because there's money in it. There's money in the recycling of the bags because they switched to all paper bags now. Well, what if people bring back the paper bags and we recycle them? You could have a program. He was either really nice enough to like put up with my crap, or he thought it was an interesting idea. One or the other. I mean, that's cool. His name's Chris. Hi, Chris. I didn't mention the podcast, so he probably has no idea who the fuck I am. But all the time, I just try to do the little things, right? I try to talk to my kids every day. Something that I wish I could still do with my family. I don't talk to them the few that are living. I don't talk to them even every week. I don't barely talk to them at all, except my oldest daughter, who is now in town. So that's nice. I see her a lot. Not as much as I want. I just, I broke down last night because they announced this ceasefire at the 0 hour, at the very last minute. Taco happened. And I knew in my heart of hearts that they never talked to anybody of any importance, and that Trump was looking for any reason to back down. Because the instant he gives that order is probably the instant that a lot of military folks say, no, can't be done. So everything that's happening right now is, it's highly questionable. And that's why they're sticking to military targets only military targets, which is actually part of the Geneva Convention. We set up the rules of warfare after World War II because of the atrocities that were perpetrated by the Axis powers and the Allied. I mean, like, we killed a lot of civilians too, a lot of indiscriminate bombing. And of course, there was the use of the 2 nuclear weapons, which we should never forget. This was Trump kicked the can down the road for 2 weeks. So, I see a lot of this. That means we've got 2 weeks to impeach and remove him. Or my new favorite, we've got 2 weeks to get the 25th Amendment enacted. Yeah. So I'm going to take things that will never happen for 1,000, Alex. My God. It's all overwhelming, isn't it? It's all overwhelming, and it all feels stupid. It's all stupid. All of this is just dumb. And it's dumb on its face, and you know it's dumb. It's dumb to the rest of the world. The rest of the world is looking at it as going, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Why did you put this idiot back in charge, and why haven't you removed him yet? Yes, those are good questions. I don't have any of those answers. People were really mad about the price of eggs. They were really, really mad about the price of eggs. And so we ended up with this war, tariffs, bad trade agreements, massive inflation, an affordability crisis. We're going to have, this is the best part about this war. If they don't fix this ASAF fucking P, we're going to have a global recession. All because we're being led by a fucking crazy person. And all of the systems that are in place to keep him from doing the crazy shit have failed. Fuck. So this episode will definitely be rated E for what is it? Damn it. Explicit content. That's what it is. E for explicit content, not rated E for everyone. Trump tacoed again. Now, there will come a time where he just refuses to give up. It'll happen. It'll probably happen over the voting stuff. It'll probably happen over. They'll just direct the United States Post Office to not deliver mail, not deliver ballots. That's what they'll do. That's what they'll do. I mean, hello. They can't stop you from voting by mail. Any other way that I could think of. So they'll just not deliver them. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. And they'll put Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They'll put Customs Border Patrol. What is it called? It's not patrol. It's Customs and Border Protection is what they call it now. We've changed the words to change what the words are to make them more important sounding. Department of Homeland Security. Didn't even exist 25 years ago. We created that after 9/11. Before that, it was just all the normal agencies doing their normal jobs. But we wanted to lump them all together so that they could communicate better. Yeah, whatever. I didn't even mention that Pam Bondi got fired. The Attorney General got fired, and she's been temporarily replaced with Todd Blanche, who may be the worst human being on the planet. No. He still can't hold a candle to Stephen Miller. The cracks are forming. The desperation is increasing. He started firing people. He fired Noam. He fired Bondi. He's probably going to fire Tulsi Gabbard and a few other people. He's going to start firing people. He's frustrated. He's at the end of the rope, and he knows he can't hide all of the corruption and abuses forever. But by God, just like any good arsonist, they can always set another fire that's bigger than the last one. Now, I don't know how many bigger fires you can set than starting this war, but it's a pretty fucking big fire. I don't believe that they'll get away with it. I really don't. We can't let them get away with it. We have to keep forging ahead. Focus, eyes on the prize. Inflation is out of control. The price of gas is all over the place. I'd also like to point out that there's a lot of people making a fuck ton of money in the stock market and in the predictions market, which is gambling, by the way. But it's not real gambling, because the people who are making the most money are the people who actually know what's going to happen because they have insider information. And so they're just milking you for... The same people who use the prediction markets are the people who use cryptocurrency and the people who believe AI is our savior. These are the people that need to be stopped at any fucking cost, for the record. People are making money off of Trump's flip-flopping, his taco action. The markets are up huge today because he caved last night. The price of oil dropped precipitously after they announced their quote-unquote deal. And it makes you wonder who is shorting, who is buying long, who is making the most money off of this stuff. And there's a paper trail to all of it. Follow the money, and you're going to find there was wild wild insider trading on all of this. The abuse, the corruption, it's never ending. And it's infuriating. And I don't want to talk about this stuff. And that's why on No Plan, No Problem, we talk about other things that always seem to wrap back around to this, because you can't not talk about Donald Trump because of the damage he's doing and because of a future that he's endangering with every foolish decision. Thought I was going to say a different F word, didn't you? This is a mad time, and that's a bad king. And I say it every week. You gotta stay strong. You gotta stay safe. You gotta stay frosty. You gotta pay attention. You gotta stay in the know. Stay alert. But you don't forget, take care of yourself in the process. Don't end up on a cane like me trying to figure out how I'm going to clean the apartment for my daughter's birthday party. I don't know. Hire somebody. I don't have that kind of, not have that kind of cash. Anyway, I'm going to take off for today and come back hopefully tomorrow with a brief episode of TTO, which is what I call Trent Takes On. and I'm going to try and sit down with George again tomorrow for another No Plan, No Problem. Listenership spiked last week, so maybe you guys are finally picking it up. Who knows? It's a fun show. It really is. And George is a good guy, and we have interesting discussions. So until then, thank you all for being with me on this journey. Thank you for indulging me to come into your homes and or places of office or your car, wherever you're shared, wherever you listen on your morning jog. Cool. I appreciate you, and your time is the most valuable thing you have. And by giving some of it to me, you've shown me that you care about what I have to say, and that really means the world to me. So thank you. And I'll be back before you know it. So until then, please be good humans. It's the least we can do. I'll talk to you soon. Love you.